Hey, good evening, everyone. I added a fifth tab, right, which is actually now the payback period. Just wanted to make sure that we have the recording so we can go through it. Um, it's the same where we left off. It's actually the MIRR, so it's the same, right? So now for the payback period is basically asking how fast do you recover? How many years do you need in order for you to recover the 10,000, right? Because you have your cash outflow and then you have the cash inflow, which is actually this and then this. Like, what's the number of years in order for you to recover it? So, of course, the shorter the number, the better it is because it means that you can actually recover it faster. Now, I'm not going to disrupt the calculation that we did, but let me bring it down. So just remember some of the information here or from here to here. Okay. So I'm going to bring it down on another, not a sheet, but like another cell. So it's now here. So the investment calculation, similar to what we had before. So we brought this down and then now we're going to calculate it. So payback period. So what's payback period? I just added an additional accumulated cash flow. So in year zero, it's 10,000. Year one, at the end of year one, you have your 10,000 at the initial of the project, negative cash outflow, and then I need to add the cash inflow. So at the end of year one, you owe, or out of the 10,000, you offset it with 5,000 as cash inflow. So you owe yourself, when you think about it that way, 5,000 more because you're still on the negative. But if you, at the end of year two, you fully recovered, at the end of year two, your $10,000 of investment. That's why it's actually zero. So by the time that you see it's actually zero, then you would say that, okay, that's my investment recovery. So at the end of year three, you actually flipped it, and then now you have an income, a cash inflow, net cash inflow, right? So when you think about it, every year represents by 1 year. So now it's actually just 2 years, as simple as that. But of course, there are times wherein it does not land perfectly as a negative, as a zero, right? It doesn't zero out your initial investment with your cash inflow. On investment B, your cash inflow negative is the cash outflow is negative 10,000. Let me move here. And then now I will do the same formula. I would add the negative 10,000 with the 1,500. And then as I actually add it, that's the amount, right? So you did not see anything that turned out to be zero. But we know, so find the year where it became positive, which is year number four. So you know that your payback period is actually 3 years and something within year four. But what is year four? Like, what's the percentage or what's the rate? So when you think about it, you would always say one, two, three. Let's do that. And then the formula now would be the ABS or absolute value. Basically, if I take out the ABS, it's going to be negative, right? So when you add it up, it's 2.2. So I always do ABS to make it absolute value, no integer. So on year number three, you have $4,000 negative. But on year four, $5,000 comes in to offset. That's why you have 1,000. So it's actually representing zero point 0.8. So when you now look at it, it's 3.8 years, right? And then sometimes what I do is that I would do this because I know this actually where, so I know that by year four it becomes positive. So I would do it year three plus the ABS or the absolute value between this divided by the cash inflow that will make it positive 3.8. Same thing. So now, which is a good investment? In the case of the payback period, this one's faster. So remember, here's how we're looking at it, right? NPV, we like investment be better. IRR, we like investment be better. And MIRR, we like investment be better because it's higher. But on the payback period, this one takes longer because it's 5 years, right? This one is shorter. So it's all now up to you as a finance professional or as a CFO in the future to think about what are the things that you would want to consider. So for us at work, we always consider the IRR for us and then the NPV, right? Anything that would increase the wealth of the shareholders. And then everything else is actually a time only, a time component. Because why? My assumptions might be wrong on how much is the inflow on the third year, the fourth year, the fifth year. It might be higher, it might be bigger because I have enough time to strategize and do something for the business. So that's something to consider. So this ends our discussion on the payback period, and then we'll go to another one. So it's a third video with regard to the qualitative aspect of the capital budgeting process. Okay, thank you, everyone.